Hello, everyone. Today, I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. There was a young man named Leo, 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy for him. Leo's family was struggling financially. His father, Mark, was a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to make ends meet. Leo's younger sister, Sophie, was just 10 and looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house, staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life. But how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Leo thought deeply about his father's words. Then, an idea struck him. He noticed that in his town, people loved fresh bread, but had to travel to a bakery far away. He decided to start selling fresh bread locally. But there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy the bread. He decided to take a chance and approach the bakery's Mr. Anderson. Leo walked miles to meet Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. With confidence, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. "And why should I trust you, young man?" he asked. Leo replied firmly, "Because I am determined, and I will work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week. If you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here again." Leo was thrilled. Early the next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted every passerby with energy and a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were hesitant. They didn't know if the bread was good, but Leo offered free samples and soon had his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and made a small profit. That evening, he returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to his town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he had saved enough money to buy a small cart, making it easier to transport more bread. One day, a customer suggested, "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're good at selling, but if you bake, you'll make more profit." This idea excited Leo, but it also scared him. He had never baked anything in his life. This was the moment where Leo realized nothing is free, not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to succeed, I must take risks and learn. Leo couldn't stop thinking about the idea of baking his own bread. If he could bake, he wouldn't have to rely on Mr. Anderson, and his profit would grow. But there was one big problem. He didn't know how to bake. Leo decided to ask Mr. Anderson for help. The next morning, after delivering his payment, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake?" The old man frowned. "Why should I teach you? If you bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." Leo looked at him and said, "You're right, but I won't forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." Mr. Anderson thought for a moment, then said, Fine, but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you. The lessons began early the next morning. Leo arrived at the bakery at 3 a.m. before the sun was up. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. At first, Leo struggled. His hands hurt from kneading, and his bread came out too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch of bread, Leo sat down, feeling defeated. He said to himself, "Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I should give up." But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." He realized that every mistake was teaching him something new. Giving up was not an option. The next day, Leo went back to the bakery with even more determination. He practiced every single step carefully. Slowly, his bread started improving. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and began baking bread at home. His family was amazed by his hard work. Sophie, his little sister, helped him pack the bread, and his mother made tea for him while he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread. He started making cookies and pastries too. People in the town loved his products. They said, "Leo's bread tastes better than anything we've had before." But success wasn't easy. One day, a new bakery opened in the town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric had a big fancy shop with colorful signs and decorations. People were curious and started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping. He felt scared. What if he lost everything he worked so hard for? But instead of panicking, Leo decided to improve. He listened to his customers and asked, "What do you like about Eric's bakery? What can I do better?" Some said, "Eric's shop looks clean and pretty." Others said, "His cakes have beautiful designs." Leo realized he needed to grow, not just as a baker, but as a businessman. Using his savings, Leo painted his cart, added bright decorations, and started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even learned how to decorate cakes by watching videos in the library. Slowly, customers returned to him. One evening, an elderly woman came to Leo and said, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Months passed and Leo's business grew. He saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't as big as Eric's, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped him. Sophie, now 11, loved talking to customers, and Claire managed the accounts. But Leo knew this wasn't the end of his journey. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove to himself that anything is possible with hard work. Leo's bakery, Leo's Fresh Bakes, was becoming the heart of the town. People loved his fresh bread, cakes, and pastries. Business was growing, and his family was proud of him. But life wasn't done testing Leo. One stormy night, as Leo was closing his shop, he noticed smoke coming from the bakery. He rushed inside and saw that a small fire had started near the oven. He quickly grabbed water and managed to stop the flames, but much of his equipment was damaged. The next morning, when the townspeople heard about the fire, they came to check on him. Some said, "Oh no, what will Leo do now?" Others whispered, "Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. He stood outside his bakery and said, "This is just a challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I will face this too. I won't give up. He took a deep breath and began making a plan. He calculated how much money he had saved and realized it wasn't enough to replace all the equipment. For a moment, fear crept in. But Leo remembered his journey, how he started with nothing but a dream and hard work. Instead of sitting and worrying, Leo asked for help. He approached Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, I need advice." "What would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You've taught yourself that nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and people will believe in you too." Inspired, Leo decided to rebuild. He didn't wait for someone to rescue him. He started baking at home again with the little equipment he had left. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." The townspeople admired his courage. Many of them started helping him. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money, and a few offered their time to help him clean and repair the bakery. Leo realized something important. When you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help someone who helps themselves. After months of hard work, Leo reopened his bakery. It was better than ever. He painted the walls, added new decorations, and even introduced new items like cupcakes and muffins. His customers were overjoyed. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor came and said, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown us all that with determination, anything is possible." Leo stood in front of the crowd and said, "I want to thank each one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free, not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step to something greater." From that day, Leo's bakery didn't just sell bread. It became a symbol of hope. People from other towns started visiting to meet the young man who never gave up. Leo's story teaches us that. 1. Dreams are not free. They require hard work and sacrifice. 2. Failure is not the end. It's a chance to learn and grow stronger. 3. Help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will support you. 4. Never give up. The darkest moments are often just before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope this video helps you learn English and think about your life. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Keep learning English every day.